Good evening, good evening, good evening, or good afternoon, good morning for Australia, good early morning if you're in Europe. Hi, this is Barry Selby, and just do a quick. It's actually almost close to sunset here, so it's a little bit darker, which means we'll see how it looks. No, you can see me. That's good. Okay, good. Make sure you can still see me on the camera. Hi, my name is Barry Selby. This is my daily love scope for those of you joining me. If you haven't followed me yet, and if you're on the replay, by the way, you can watch me. This is you're here. Aha, you came back, Joyce. Good. I may be resorting to this in a minute. I'll tell you about this in a moment too. This is not part of my scope, but this is back to this. All right. So I am a. Yes, I am. Hi. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming in here. And if you're here for the first time, thank you, Joyce, for sharing and ask people to do that. If you're here for the first time, make sure you tap the little guy in the corner. Please invite your followers and share it on Twitter, just like Joyce did. That was wonderful. And make sure you're following me. This is my daily love scope. My name is Barry Selby. I am the heartbreak repair specialist. My friends call me the love doctor because I even know a lot of stuff and I study a lot of stuff. And today's topic comes from yesterday, and I'll explain in a moment what that is. But if you're just joining me, thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. Hi, Cindy. Nice to have you joining me. I'm actually going to throw in a little Perry tip as well whilst I go along because I've got this little device a friend of mine gave me. And I'll tell you about that in a moment. Anyway. Whoa, okay, sorry. I'm just getting messages popping up. Okay, back on track. So today's topic is about support, and in particular because this is okay. Let me rewind a bit. I was curious what you decided to talk about. Ah, yes. Actually, because I was sitting with it when I asked the question, I realized I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about from last night. Yes, I am a number one best-selling author, a relationship coach, an expert teacher, guide, speaker, etc., etc. I'm also a student in terms that I learn this stuff all the time, and I spend right now it's once a quarter, but I'm trying to make it more frequent. I'm part of a co-ed salon, a conversation between men and women about relationships. It was birthed out of Alison Armstrong's work, who runs a company called PAX. And if you know Alison Armstrong's work, she's an amazing teacher, especially for women, about how to be in the world in a feminine, but how men and women are different. It's good stuff. So once every 3 months, 4 months or so, because the women meet once a month, but they have a co-ed salon every 3 or 4 months with the guys as well. So this year's theme has been about support, but last night particularly was how there's confusion. And I had some points that I didn't intend to make, but they came through. And so people had response to that. So I want to share them here for you. One of the things about support is, I'm going to jump right into this, I guess, is that one thing is for men, getting support is different than it is for women. And for men versus women, giving support is different for men and women. So I'll get into this a little bit more. So basically with your relationship partner, but also for yourself and for your friends who are of other genders, this will give you some more insight to them as well. And thank you for tapping the screen for hearts. I appreciate that. How do I put this? I don't want to shortcut it, but I'm going to have to get to this first and go backwards. I'm just thinking how I articulate what I remember from this conversation. It was a 2-hour conversation. It was very rich. There were about 30 of us there, and it was really fun, ripe, authentic, entertaining. Lots of light bulbs going off because it was very insightful for us. But one thing that came up in conversation was that, and there's some examples from relationships of couples who are there and singles too, how when you ask for something and your partner gives something back that isn't what you asked for, how does it make you feel? Because we tend to think when we ask for something, we're being clear. And the challenge is that when you ask for something, the heart stopped then, I wonder why. I get into deep stuff, and I know it's funny. People go, "Let me think about that," and they don't actually tap on the screen anymore. Hi, good to have you here. Sorry, that was just I've seen it happen before, where I got hearts galore going up the screen, and then I make a point about something, and it just goes still. It just cracks me up. Anyway, back to the topic. So, for an example, what was happening was a woman was asking or sharing that she had asked her partner. I'm trying to remember the actual one because there were 3 examples. I'm trying to remember which one to pull in. But she asked her husband for something, and what he gave her wasn't what she asked for, but it was solving the problem. And a couple of things for to be aware of. First of all, men, us, masculine guys, we're solution-oriented. Solution-oriented. In fact, we're solution-motivated. We like completing things. So if you've come up to us with a problem or an issue or a thing you want fixed, resolved, we can look for the quickest, easiest solution to resolve it, which may not be what you want. This is the difference. And I threw it out this way, and it was a visual that came through my head, because being in LA, this comes up, and we were in the valley at the time. And I said, well, for example, if you want to get to Long Beach, and and it's not exactly true, but I was giving the example of, there's a 405 freeway that goes straight there from here to there. There's also Pacific Coast Highway down the coast, which is a beautiful scenic route to get you there as well, but different way. And I use that to illustrate the point that when we talk about support, there's usually more than one way of it being provided. One is the solution, done, fixed, but it can be blunt, and it may not be that enjoyable to you. But if it's, for example, if like you want care from your partner, you want something done, he may have a solution, and I'm talking to women about this, he may have a solution that's like, fixed it, done, it's quick and easy, he's done with it, completion, right, job's done. But you may feel like you didn't get what you wanted, because it may be the way that he was supporting you was more important than what he was doing to support you. And it's the thing about support, it's not a simple solution. I'm going to flip it the other way for a second about men. We hate to ask for support because we think somehow we're going to be weak, or, as it's been talked about, that is, so your husband is, okay, yeah. That's what we do. We are good at getting things done, but it may not be the way you like it. It's the challenge of this. So it's learning to, one, it's learning to negotiate, first, and two, it's about educating. Because, Cindy, in your case with your husband, if it's not solving what you want, giving you the way you want it, you can let him know that you love what he's doing, and it would be nice if he did it a certain way differently. We go in a straight line, they go in circles. How do you mean that? You're welcome. So wait, Joyce, you were saying about you go in straight lines, and you mean women go in straight lines and women go in circles? Other way around, I think. But that's another conversation, but I'm not going into that now. Let me stay on track, please. The shortest way, right. Well, men are more direct, shortest way. Because we solve things quickly and easily. Our job is to complete things. It's like, for the feminine, it's to enjoy the journey. You know, stop and smell the roses, that's a feminine energy. For men, it's like, okay, goal's done. Put my feet up, have a beer, I'm over. That's the way men are in their masculine. Now, if you're only masculine, you may be carrying the same energy as a man does, because that's not gender requirement. Men and women carry both energies, some more than others. There are men out there who are very masculine, and men out there who are very feminine, and there are women, again, who are very masculine, and also women who are very feminine. I used to date your bossy, okay. I used to date women like that. In their masculine, and I had to default out of the masculine to fit, and that was a whole other conversation. I did a scope on that at least 2 or 3 weeks ago. I may do it again next week. But anyway, back on topic. This is the fun part of this stuff. It's always keeping me on track. For men, when we ask for support, it's hard for us to do that because we want to be the provider and take care of our partners. So we don't really ask for support easily. So when we do it, it's almost begrudging. And secondly, it's because the thing is, asking for support, it's implying that we don't know how to do everything. And for men, that's an ego blow. Because what we thrive on and survive on is respect. So in a relationship with your male partner, your boyfriend, your husband, when you give him respect, it boosts his heart's fullness. He feels more support, you're honored, and he feels like a better man because of you, by being respectful to him. And it's a powerful tool to use for good. And there was a comment made about powerful women in the groups. This may relate to you, Joyce. Exactly. Was that there was a comment made, because there's something in Alison Armstrong's work, she talks about how she asked the women to lay down their sword. Because, sorry, from men too, or just for women, respect? Well, let me just say this. For women, it's more than respect. For men, it's simply respect, because there's something about men's ego and men's esteem that is boosted by a woman who respects him. For a woman, it was, there were a couple of things we talked about. Oh, it'll come back to me, I hope. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what it was we talked about last night. It was a big conversation, as I said. I want to say it's being taken care of, but it's not. There's something else in there. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what was talked about. It was a rich conversation last night. Yeah, I'm blanking on it, to be honest. I'm sorry. I have to check with one of my friends who was there to say, what was it? Because I was focused on what I was needing. I'm sorry, selfish on that one. Again, being a student in this environment, I was learning about women, but also learning about myself. It was very powerful. So what men want from women is different than from their own male buddies. Yes, usually it is. For men, it's kind of like a brotherhood thing. It's like, we'll ask for help with, oh, that was something that came out last night too, by the way. how you ask your men for something to be done, support stuff, is you ask for them for help with something. How to say this? If you are you want help with getting something done, like taking out the trash, you can ask it in a way that is belittling or a way that's inviting. And it means that you can say from the point of view is like, would you help me get the trash out? Includes the conversation versus saying, will you go take the trash out? There's a subtle difference, but it's important to realize. By asking it to be included, like, will you help me take the trash out? It's a much more of a yes you're going to get from him versus a resentful, okay, fine, I'll do it. So there's and this is, I should say, this is the cliff notes of what happened last night. So I can't give you the whole thing. So, oh my God, it's too heavy. I can't lift it. But it's that good. You get the hero and the man to come. I'll come help you, honey. Yes, you could. I wouldn't do it every time, and not. I mean, you could do it as a funny thing too, frankly. You know, but that was funny. Yeah, I like that one. That's an option too. But again, it's about the inclusivity, about recognizing that you're honoring his part of participation versus, you know, belittling him or making him feel like a boy. I was talking about the sword, but I don't remember the piece of it. I'll come back to that if I remember it. Damsel in distress. Yeah, you can play with that, but you can't milk it too much, you know? So you've got to be careful with that one. Okay, I'm going to try something out because I noticed the screen's starting to get a bit granular up here. So this thing, by the way, this is a total caveat sidebar to something. I shared this last week, Thursday, I think it was. This actually is a device a friend of mine's got, and you have to go back and look at my scope from Thursday last week, because I put up the website and all the information about this. It's a friend of mine had this, and she gets them made. And what it is a light. This little thing, which has a clip on the bottom, fits on your iPhone, your iPad, and your computer, and it has an LED, I'm going to do it sideways so you don't get blinded by it, a light. And it's a dimmable light too. So I'm going to put it up here to, whoops, stay there. And it's rechargeable too. So I can put it up to full brightness. There. Whoa. Now you can see me, and it's a nighttime shoot. How easy is that? So that's a little device bonus. I think it's $40 online. I can post a link for that. Actually, I'll post a link in the Barry 10K group as well. Yeah. Anyway, so any advice for someone whose girlfriend is jealous of Periscope to the point that they break up? She's jealous of you're using Periscope. That means she. Any advice? Move on. If she's jealous of using Periscope, it's not like you're dating somebody on the side. If she's jealous of you using Periscope, that's definitely her issue. And it's not just there. I'm sure it plays out other places too. So I don't want to presume. Sorry, I'm just sort of flickering on my end. So I want to see if the light brightness will. That's better. Okay. So to be honest, in the beginning she liked watching your scopes. Oh, she was getting jealous because of my scopes? Now I'm confused. What I teach on Periscope is really what I believe about is what healthy relationships are made of. And if that's not working for her, that's a different conversation. So I'm sorry if that, I mean, I'm not sure if I understood what you were saying there, but you said that she was getting jealous of watching my scopes, that she gets point breaking up. Oh, she likes watching your scopes at a good beginning, and then we started talking to other people, and she didn't. Oh, so other people's opinions don't match mine. That's fine. I mean, I'm not saying I know everything that's right, if that's what you're asking. I just believe, I'm talking about what I believe in and what I've learned and what I've studied with different teachers. And I'm distilling down what I've learned over 30 years. But I don't have a 20-year marriage to reflect on and say, well, this is what's going to work. Other people can do that. But I teach what I've learned that does work for building a healthy relationship. So in your case with her, I don't have an answer with that. I have a problem with having Joe do things, but wanting him to do it the right way. She didn't like the idea that I could talk to other girls even if they were in another country. Oh, jealousy. Interesting animal. Challenging. Sorry, Cindy, to your question about, this is where it's good to qualify, to mention. Sorry, I hear a cat meowing somewhere close by. That's my friend Stormy I take care of. The bottom line is that your ability to, you're asking him to do things the way you want them to do them. It's a matter of conversation, talking, asking. Because that was the thing we talked about last night. because we have one way of doing things, you have one way of wanting things done in this context, doesn't mean they're always the same thing. So if he's not doing things the way you'd like him to, ask him. Say, I would love that if you do it this way, you know? So that's what I was trying to respond to you about, is saying that way. Did that help you? I'm answering like 4 different questions at once, so I hope I'm getting the right answer to the right question and the right answer to the right person. So, again, this was a topic we talked about over 3-4 different sessions for 2 hours at a time with 30 of us. And I'm trying to distill down into a 15 or 20 minute Periscope, all of that. It's not going to be easy, so I'm just giving you some nuts and bolts of things I learned so that'll help you get started. So, I do talk about some of this in my book, but truth is I'm talking about this more as a ongoing conversation, and I may talk about this more later on because I'm going to still download some notes I had from the conversation. This was saying that you addressed that we'll never. Whoops. This was saying that you addressed that we'll never thought about it that way before. Sorry, I lost the comment. I did a scope earlier about a new feature in Chrome, and it's annoying because I'm realizing how annoying it is now on Periscope, where it doesn't last enough on the screen for me to read the whole thing. Periscope's so much fun. I love it, and I loved using it. There was a lot of interaction there with answering questions. I hope we got some of your questions answered there. Yeah, it is funny. This stuff is. Sydney? Oh, you're watching Cinescope. Okay, cool. Yeah, this has been a busy day for us with the Perry 10K group and also with my own scopes because I did a Perry Tips. And again, by the way, I was just saying, oh, good, I did something. Thank you. That's good. Glad I could help. I mean, this is a open-ended conversation. The thing about respect for men came up right at the back end last night, and we're probably going to put it on the table to talk about the next time we do it in January or February. So it's not going to be for another few months to the next time. So I'm actually working on getting this, and we're in Los Angeles, so if you're in Los Angeles too, you can join us if you've done the work. We're trying this makes a bi-monthly or even a monthly co-ed salon because there's such rich conversation and learning. As I said at the beginning, you know, I've got 30 years of studying this stuff, and I am a number one best-selling author and teacher and coach on relationships, and I'm still sitting in the conversational seat to learn about this stuff because there's things this is not something you go, okay, I know everything there is to know. Far from it. I'm still learning. So that's why I'm sharing things as I go, because some of this stuff I'm putting out there into the Periscope land for you to watch, because I know that there's going to be more I'm going to be learning, and I want to make sure that what I know now is valuable to you, because my mind get filled up with new information, you know. So absolutely. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm a student of this stuff too. I've said I've been doing this for 30 years, and I'm not stopping yet. I love learning and growing, and becoming more powerful, effective in the world in a loving way to do it. And Periscope is a great avenue. And yes, Periscope and jealousy doesn't go together. And frankly, if that's happening through Periscope, I would suspect she doesn't trust you in other areas too, or hasn't trusted you in other areas, because she won't trust you to look at other women physically. I mean, if you do it on Periscope, it's not like you're doing, video sex, but that's what she may be thinking, is that sort of trust issue. So her trust issues are up to be worked on. And if you are committed to the relationship, I suggest you get some support for that for her, or she gets support, because that's not current. That's my suspicion, my guess. That's from childhood. I talked about this in my scopes a few weeks ago, and certainly in my book, about how a lot of our patterns we have in adulthood in our relationships started as a child from our parents as the modeling for that. So if that issue with jealousy, trust, that stuff comes up, I'm suspecting it didn't start as an adult. It started from a lot earlier. Yes. There's a whole thing about, and in fact Bruce Lipton talks about this in other studies I've seen out there, that our subconscious mind, which is 95% of our consciousness, is programmed from the age of 0 to about 9 years old as all the rules and beliefs about how life should be, and including how we date when we get older, because our parents teach us everything as a kid that we don't know right from wrong. We just take it as being gospel. And then as an adult we start practicing what we learned, and it can be really challenging. So I left your therapist, he was kind of said the same thing you did. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, this isn't, to be honest, it's not a unique perspective. This is what I know, what I've learned. And I've had my own experience in relationships where things went down the tubes, and some of my patterns I had in relationships were from my childhood. So I've experienced it from both sides. So don't we attract the type of partner that we can help to break the cycle? Ideally, yes. You'd be a great guest on our podcast. Yeah, please let me know. By the way, All my social media is Barry Selby. My website is barryselby.com, so my name is the same everywhere. Just drop me an email at barry@barryselby.com for that podcast information. I'd love to talk to you about it. Yeah, it'd be fun. And Cindy, I think I'm trying to remember the colours, not the names of the icons. Cindy, it's about how we draw partners to us. Yes. Oh yeah, you're so welcome. I'm glad I could do that. Cindy, sorry, and answer your question or comment to what you said about we do draw partners to us. Yes, that's one of the things. Those patterns I said that we learned as a kid, so do our partners. Oh, sorry, I saw two blue ones, so I didn't see that was. Oh, Lisa, duh. You were on the whole time, so I'm sorry. I think you and Cindy had the same color icon, so I was maybe switching it in my mind. So Lisa, answer your question, sorry. We do attract partners to us that match our patterns as a kid, because our own innate patterns we grew up with as a kid, that we imprinted on us, will go out seeking unconsciously the patterns of somebody else that will match that. So, yes, if you're conscious of it, you can heal it by when you meet that person, but better yet, why not heal it before you get there? That's why I do the work I do. So that when you do meet somebody, you already raised your level of awareness, and then you meet somebody at that level rather than down here. Does that make sense? So that's what I recommend. I mean, from books, workshops, teachers, coaching, hint, hint, is I help people do that. That's why I had to go through myself. I mean, I said I've done this for couple of decades, and I went through all the stuff of learning those sort of things. So that's why I speak about this. I know, okay. Right, I'm just going to see if this goes any brighter because I'm feeling it's getting darker out. Okay, that's as bright as it goes. Yeah, it's an actual. I did a scope on this on Thursday last week. It's a light that fits on top of the iPhone, works on an iPad. It just clips on top of the iPhone, iPad, laptop, and it gives you an LED light that is. It lasts a long time, and you can plug it into a USB port to charge it up. It costs like $35. If you want to find out more about it, email me about that. I'll send you the link to the website. You can download it. I mean, you can order it rather. I don't get commission. It's not an affiliate. Just a friend of mine sells it, and it's a genius little product. I haven't seen it before, and lets me do what's basically a nighttime scope. It's dark out there, see? So, yeah, so I get to do a scope. I was going to do it in the living room, but I just wanted to go outside and stand up for a minute. I've been sitting on the couch working and scoping all day, so I wanted to be out and about. So, I started online dating 6 months ago and attracted in a real controlling dude. He freaked you out. And I'm guessing that being controlled and that control thing was something that you've experienced before, perhaps. Just checking in with you on that. Yeah, that's the thing. Let me say this, because I said this a couple of days ago on a scope, and I was talking to a friend about this yesterday. When you are somebody who's looking to invest in the financial market, or you're going to put some money in the bank, well, not in the bank, but like in stock market, you'll seek out someone who's a professional counselor in the business, financial planner, advisor, stockbroker, somebody to help you with that. Does that mean your subconscious still attracts that have done so much work? Not necessarily, but let me finish this conversation first, and then I'll come back to that point. Bear with me. So let me recap that second for people to say this, because I want to make it's almost like a marketing piece for myself to say this, and I'm saying it this way. There are people out there who are looking to invest in the financial market, so they'll go see a financial planner, stockbroker, something like that. Or they're looking to get healthy, and they go see a dietitian or a fitness trainer to get healthy, or a yoga instructor. But when it comes to dating, you go on Match.com, and they wonder why it doesn't work. What amazes me is that people look at the three main things in life, which are money, health, and relationships. Relationships is the one place they don't get guidance from, which cracks me up. I mean, I didn't either. I mean, I'm just saying I was a victim of that too, or I think that way too. It's like, when it comes to money, you get help with that ideally. When it comes to health, you get some help with that. But when it comes to getting in a relationship, we just get an online website or a dating app and think, oh, it'll work out. And you wonder why there's a divorce rate of over 50%? Seriously, this is where I get really emphatic. So, in answer to your question, Lisa, I would say that if you do the inner work, and let me give you the inside, like the behind the scenes thing. When you are, most people who help are for couples. Well, the thing is, my work is working with singles primarily, one, because I have been single for a while, but two, because I like to help people start in the right place when they're single before they get into a relationship. That makes more sense to me. I've worked with couples before, and one of them got married from my coaching, which I didn't actually recommend at the time. Shh. But they did the work in the marriage as well as before. But speaking back to the point about what you said, yeah, it's, as I said, the patterns are usually implanted in childhood. 0 to about 8, 9 years old is kind of when the subconscious mind takes everything in before the conscious mind becomes aware and becomes the gatekeeper to stop stuff coming in automatically. I know. Sorry, I'm getting a meow in the background. I gotta go feed my friend's cat. That's where I'm cat sitting right now. So the thing is, the patterns that you're reflecting or experiencing now as an adult are likely traced back to something that happened when you were a kid. And it may be something to do with your dad or your mum or another adult around you who basically gave you that experience of being controlled, or something you adjusted where, and this is the key, that pattern is interlocked with love. So you may have had experience when you were younger, unless this totally doesn't fit you, because if you're drawing it to you, men who control, it's likely that you did that as a kid where you were in a controlled environment or you had control around you that you tied to loving, so you think that loving requires that, which is an unfortunate, but what we do is we create this association between love and these patterns, and we wonder why when it gets to be adult, the patterns and the love go together. And it happens with abuse, it happens with neglect, it happens with control, different things happen as an adult, and we wonder why it happens. It's our childhood that starts it. And I'm not a therapist, I don't do that. But I do counsel, and I do have program guidance to help people go back and make peace with that past, so they can move forward clean and then attract a different sort of relationship. So, but you've done so much work, I understand. As I said, I've been doing this stuff for 30 years. I've been in seminars, teachings, trainings, master's degree, spiritual counseling, licensing, all sorts of stuff for 30 years. I'm still learning. As I said, that's what started this whole scope. I was in a workshop last night that talks about this stuff, and I was learning from that. So it doesn't end. No. That's the good news, I believe. So anyway, it's starting to get a bit cooler out here now. It's like it's 5:30, which is actually surprising because since the clocks went back, it's just starting to get cooler. It's starting to go inside again. And get something to eat, and also feed the cat, because the cat is getting very noisy. Yes, thank you, Lisa. You know the cats. So, yeah, so my website is barryselby.com. You can find all about me there. If you want a discovery session, you can reach out to me there. You can send me an email through there, and you can also check out my videos and my programs. And for those of you who are single looking for love and you want to just start planning that really well for ladies, I do have an online program that I've just completely reduced the price on, ridiculously low. It's called the Dating Advantage. It was called Your Dating Advantage, and it was an 8-week online program. It was $400, and it was worth it because it had amazing content. I made it insanely good because I've taken the whole thing and made it into one download, a workbook, and it's $49. Insanely low. So anyway, if you go to my site, you look up Dating Advantage, it explains it all there, and you can download it if you want it. And if not, just sign up for consult. I have coaching, videos, audios, other stuff there too. And I'm signing off because I have a very upset cat who wants to get fed. I will see you again tomorrow on my regular scopes, and I'll be back for more then. Thanks for watching, thanks for the questions, and here's a key. Love yourself more today than you did yesterday. Love yourself tomorrow more than you did today. That's your homework. I'll see you later. Bye.